Hey, what's going on, movie lovers? I'm Jeff.
I'm Kyle.
And we are Shut Up If I Like This, podcast where we talk about how much we like movies.
Yeah.
Beginning year 2. This is year 2 for us. This is our 53rd episode.
We made it. Somehow. I don't know.
People are listening.
Yeah, it's fun. I really do like doing this.
Yeah.
I always joke
awesome.
all the time, like, oh my god, Jeff, you're twisting my arm, making me watch all these
I know.
movies. Spoiler alert, this is kind of what we do in our free time anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Movies. So sitting down and talking about them is fun, and we have our list of stuff that we want to do, and it's cool that we add to it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was talking about the movie Swordfish.
Yeah.
And you were like, oh, I forgot about that one.
I was just, and before we recorded, I was talking about Push. I completely forgot about Push.
Chris Evans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that movie.
Yep.
That's just the stuff that you never, you forget about, and then somebody says it, you're like, that's a decent movie.
Oh, yeah.
I might have to rewatch that.
That's right, yeah.
So, yeah, that's what makes it so fun.
That's what I like doing about this podcast.
Yeah, and I mean, I try to tell Caitlin trivia and stuff. She don't give a shit. So
I do.
It's cool having people who care.
I know. I think it's cool.
Yeah.
You told me you've got cool trivia for.
I'm gonna blow some panties away with this trivia today.
I can't wait.
It's gonna go bonkers.
Awesome.
So year 2, season 2, whatever you want to call it, episode 53, talking about Soldier today.
Kurt Russell.
Snake
Plissken.
Yes.
Kurt Russell, one of my favorite actors.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's fantastic.
Uh-huh.
Everything that he does, when he does his action stuff like this and Escape from New York, but then he does films like Miracle, which is fantastic. He has the kiddie films with
Sky High.
Fucking
I don't know.
Sky High.
I don't know what the Rotten Tomatoes score is for that
I
one.
love Sky High.
But Sky High is legit one that I would sit down and talk about.
Really?
It's also got Bruce Campbell
Oh
in
my
it.
god, as a gym coach. Coach
Uh-huh.
Boomer, yeah.
Yeah, I know. It's
oh
amazing,
my god.
dude. I fucking love Sky
I
High.
love Sky High.
Yeah.
His girlfriend Layla is Danielle Panabaker. You know her from The Flash now. She's the girl in The Flash.
I still need to get into The Flash.
That's
I've only seen like halfway through the first season.
You go back and Steven Strait is the bad guy, and then he went on. He did The Covenant. He was in 10,000 BC.
Mm-hmm.
He had all those other films. He was kind of hot around that time, and that's a good movie. I like Sky High.
Yeah, it's legit.
Yeah,
he's got that movie where he plays Santa Claus that's coming out.
Oh yeah,
I don't know about that.
I don't know. We'll see though.
The joke going around the internet is that he doesn't want to shave his beard off. He grew that big awesome beard, and he's like, I can only take movie roles where I won't shave.
That's awesome.
And his agent came up to him, and he's like, Kurt, do I have the role for you? You get to play Santa Claus.
That's awesome. I don't know. I'm looking forward to it. I'll probably end up watching it.
I don't know if I'll watch it or not, but
I'll end up probably sometime.
I don't know if it hits Tubi TV or unpaid advertisement.
Yeah,
I'll give it a watch.
Anything with Kurt Russell. Anything. I love Overboard. I love Captain Ron.
Yeah.
That's just goofy fun.
The remake of the Poseidon Adventures.
Oh.
God damn.
Him and is Kutcher? Is it Ashton Kutcher?
Ashton Kutcher in that one? No, that's The Guardian.
Oh, okay.
That's the one with
Kevin Costner. See, I always get those.
Poseidon Adventures is the remake of the Ernest Borgnine movie from what was it, like 70s or 80s.
Yeah.
I don't remember when it came out. With the ship that turns upside down and slowly sinks, and they got to work their way out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And the remake, Kurt Russell has that incredibly difficult to watch scene where, spoiler alert, he drowns.
Yeah.
And it's like some of the most intense acting you've ever seen.
There was somebody else. Who was the other person?
I don't remember, but I remember it was like a whole.
I mean, it's a big cast. Yeah.
Because that was a big part of the original film too.
Yeah. That see, just like that. Like it's like, oh yeah, I remember that.
Talking about other movies.
Yeah, Poseidon. I remember that one.
Yeah.
So Soldier. So getting into the cast, Rotten Tomatoes, real quick. Rotten Tomatoes. This is perfect. Critic score is 12%, one of our lowest. Right up there with Stay Alive. Some other good ones. And yep, where they get trapped in the horror again.
I actually like that one.
I love that movie.
I like most of the stuff we do, but that one surprised me. That one was good.
Yeah. And the audience score on this is 43%.
Yeah.
So pretty good leap right there.
A little less than half.
Yep. Getting into the cast.
What year? Because
this is 98.
Yes, I have points I want to make about that later because I think the year that this came out is important.
Okay. Let me get through the cast, and then we'll get into that. So, of course, we talked about Kurt Russell already.
Yeah.
Needs no introduction. Jason Scott Lee, who plays the new and improved soldier.
Mm-hmm.
He does voices in Lilo and Stitch, stuff like that. He was Bruce Lee in the Dragon and the story of Bruce Lee.
Okay.
And he did really. It was like a fantasy telling of his life, but his portrayal as Bruce Lee was fucking spot
good.
on. Yeah, it's really good. And then in the new Mulan adaptation that they're doing, he is in the new live version of Mulan with Jet Li.
Jet Li,
so looking forward to that. I think he's playing the trainer. I'll make a man out of you. Shane. I think he's playing Shane.
Is that movie next year? When is
I think it's 2020.
2020.
I think it's 2020.
I feel like we've been talking about that since the beginning of this podcast.
I think so, because Jet Li.
Yeah, like this is a slow burn coming up to the release of this one. I'm really excited for it.
Are you gonna see the live action Mulan?
Yeah,
me too.
Of course,
I'm pumped for that.
Long-time listeners know we're both big Jet Li fans. So yeah,
and I like Disney movies. We're just my kids are upstairs watching Frozen.
Yeah, I like her singing in the background.
I like Frozen. Yeah. Jason Isaacs plays the shitty new Colonel. Of course, Harry Potter, Black Hawk Down. He's Draco Malfoy's dad.
Yeah.
And he's in The Patriot. He plays the asshole British guy who kills Mel Gibson's kid. Fantastic. Love him. He's a great bad guy. Great in this. Pisses himself. Good stuff. We've talked about Connie Nielsen before. She is Hippolyta in Wonder Woman, Justice League. We talked about both of those. She was a lead in Law and Order for a while. She was in Gladiator. She's done some great things. Sean Pertwee talked about.
He was the redeeming factor of Gotham.
Yeah,
right.
He's Alfred.
Alfred. I really like Gotham's version of Alfred.
Yeah, me too.
I'm not a big fan of the show. I think you're more so than I am. I really don't.
I've seen the first 3 seasons.
Yeah,
I kind of like it.
I think their portrayal of Alfred is
spot on.
Yeah,
I love how just sassy and badass he is, and that stern love.
Yep.
He pretty much nails it.
Jeremy Irons, and then I think what's the actor's name?
Sean, I think it's Petrie.
Yeah, he's like right below Jeremy Irons.
I think Jeremy Irons is the best Alfred.
He's the best Alfred we've got yet.
Yeah,
I love that.
I definitely think so.
We hit our Batman quota.
Yes, talked about some Batman already.
Every episode.
But some other things that I want to mention. I was talking to you about this before we started recording. Some other films that he was in. Talking about Shut Up, I Like This Material. Doomsday. He's in that with Rona Mitra. That's a great, fun horror fantasy film. And The Seasoning House, which is it's a little bit of a tougher watch, but it's really good. Nobody talks about Seasoning House.
I've never heard of it.
I would love to sit down and watch that again. It's kind of got a like a badass female alien or I spit on your grave mentality. Just seeing a young woman rise up and kick some ass. So, and then the last 2 I really want to mention is Gary Busey.
Yeah,
love Gary Busey. I feel like he needs no introduction.
He's actually not too bad in this movie.
Sometimes
you get crazy Gary Busey and you don't know what you're gonna get, and it's over the top in a movie that shouldn't be over the top.
Right.
This one is very like
this. And,
I get it. I get what he was going for.
This and Point Break, I think, are the best Gary Busey outings. Which is kind of weird that one of your best outings was in Soldier, but I don't know. He did great.
Yeah.
And then somebody that I did not know when I was a kid. Michael Chiklis is in this.
Ben Grimm.
Yeah.
The Thing.
Ben Grimm.
Fantastic Four.
The Shield.
The Shield is an excellent TV show. That was on what, FX?
Yeah, I think so.
What else has he done? I know he's done.
He's done. I think he was in maybe a couple episodes of Justified, stuff like that. He's in a lot of television stuff.
Yeah.
But he's always stands out. He stands out in this, and he's in it for a quarter of the time.
I know. And he's got a little bit of hair in this
movie. Yeah, usually, usually messes you up.
Bald.
Yeah.
It took me a minute to place him because of him having hair in this film. But
yeah, no kidding.
I don't know, and I'll still stand by. actually the first Fantastic Four movie I think is better than people give credit for.
I like it.
And I think his performance has been
that's a good shut up. I like this film.
Yeah, definitely. His performance is the thing. Is good.
Yeah, I like it.
He is really good.
I like how he struggles with it.
And I will stand by that suit. People kind of make fun of the suit because it's not CGI and whatever. Whatever, I think it's cool. I like the fact that he was like a tangible...
Yeah, like he could go up and push on it. Like he was wearing something. Yeah, I love that. I like that movie. That's fine. Yeah. I like Chris Evans. I like Mr. Fantastic. I forget his name.
Yeah.
Even Doctor Doom, how it was kind of cartoonized and kind of overplayed. But I mean, it's a comic book movie, so you want that cartoony villain. You want that, take over the world. You want that
kind of Doctor Doom.
Yeah, you want that. You want that. You want that G.I. Joe Cobra.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
I don't know. That'd be a fun one to revisit because it's been a while since I've.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen that one.
We'll add that to our growing list.
Yeah, wrote it down already. So before I get into director, writer, and stuff, do you want to talk about the year?
Yeah, I don't know. You haven't told me anything about your trivia, but I thought it was funny that this movie came out in 1998 because to me, this feels like a script and an idea that should have came out in like 1988. This to me feels like it should have been Kurt Russell in 1988 and the rest of the squad should have been like Jesse Ventura and Dolph Lundgren and like over the top just brutal 80s action movie, and the other soldier should have been like Stallone or something, and that should have been the movie. And I feel like it was a script that didn't get made in the right era. Like it came out in 98, and they kind of chopped the balls off of what should have been over the top 80s action film like The Predator or
Definitely.
Yeah.
I like how it's I like how it's a 98 though, because we don't get films like this now.
You don't.
This is kind of a pre 9/11 film.
Yes, I know exactly what you mean.
After then, you saw the fall of, and when we do get action movies now, it's like Taken, or it's like,
well, we talk about all the time about how the modern superhero movie has overtaken
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's funny that you bring that up with Kurt Russell and those other guys. Without getting into trivia, just some notes that I wrote. Stallone had Rambo, Schwarzenegger had Commando, Russell has Soldier, Dolph Lundgren has Red Scorpion. Like they each had their own one-man action hero that stood out above the rest of their films.
Right.
So this was Kurt Russell's Rambo.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just think it's kind of cool how each one of them had their own film. His came out a little bit later.
Yeah, I think it was just the wrong place for this movie to come out in.
But I mean, he had Escape from New York and stuff like that back then. So
of course.
Snake Plissken was like his Rambo, I guess then. But I would put Soul like not as a better movie, but as like that core idea of like Rambo, Commando. I would put Soldier above Snake Plissken as that one man action hero. That's an interesting thing. I'm glad because I wrote that down. I didn't know what I was going to use that for. I just thought it was an interesting comparison, but that kind of worked.
Yeah,
perfect.
This whole movie, I don't know. I just kept watching it, and I'm thinking that this is just it came out at the wrong time.
Yeah,
this should have been 88.
And I think that you can definitely see it in the budget. The budget, it had a big budget. It had $60 million.
Yeah. Did it?
But the domestic run only made 14. So very much too late.
This
to the
was
party.
Also in that weird middle point of Kurt Russell's career.
Yeah, it
where
was.
he had kind of dipped.
Yeah.
So I don't know how much.
After is this after Executive Decision?
I don't remember.
I think so, because after that was kind of like a couple lull years.
There was a period where a lot of them in the 90s didn't have the box office power. A lot of the big action stars.
Stop My Mom Will Shoot.
Yeah.
Schwarzenegger. I mean, we like it, but Jingle All the Way. Kindergarten Cop.
Yeah, and then
I mean, that's just kind of
to be the governor. So he wasn't making movies. Like you said, Stallone kind of fell off. Actors like Dolph Lundgren, which are good, were struggling to even really find roles in movies.
About the only one that I can think of.
Even someone like Michael Keaton took a big long break from Hollywood, and it wasn't until after 2000.
It was a while.
It's a
White Noise. Was that kind of his comeback? That was like 03, 04?
That was like 04. I want to say. Yeah.
That's kind of the first film that I remember. Like, oh, Batman's back.
Yeah. Right? Me too. And then we started to get a little bit of a resurgence where it's like Stallone came out and we got a new Rocky movie, Rocky Balboa. And then you did a new Rambo movie.
08.
Which you can watch our Rambo episode on YouTube. You should. I think that's a good one. And then it kind of kicked off another resurgence where you got all these 80s action stars kind of back.
Yes. It's crazy that the action stars that I grew up with, that my dad grew up with, are still the action heroes now.
Yeah.
Like, that's just amazing to me. Yeah. And anybody who's watched the podcast or knows anything about me knows I have a huge, deep respect and crush on Sylvester Stallone. I think he's a genius. His mind is on another level.
That Creed, too. It's right.
Just the way he writes, he can direct, produce, act. He does it all.
Yeah.
Everything.
I think he's brilliant, and I think that he has a way of, like Creed 2, they're making Dolph Lundgren. Like, he's an actor that he does a specific thing well, and a lot of other roles that he's in, they don't use him correctly, and he comes off maybe looking kind of stupid.
Yeah.
But then you look at, like, Creed 2, and you look at Stallone's involvement with that film, and it's like, no, he can get the most out of actors like Dolph Lundgren.
Mickey Rourke, I think, is a good example of that, of
Stallone
pulling that out of him. A great example is that one shot in Expendables of Mickey Rourke telling that story about war and all the guts and gore and we did this and that was a one shot, one take. And Stallone is the one who pulled that out.
Yeah.
Mickey Rourke is great, but to get that out of him,
sometimes it takes the right actor and director and all of that to pull a performance out.
Yeah, definitely.
Yep.
That was good. Director, writer. This is where it starts getting really interesting.
Yeah, I didn't really look it up. Who did this?
All right, so the writer is David Webb Peoples. David Webb has done Unforgiven, Blade Runner, 12 Monkeys.
Wow.
He is an accomplished screenwriter. He wrote this. And then for the director, we blew all our money on Kurt Russell, David Webb Peoples. We don't have any... we'll get Paul W.S. Anderson coming in hot off of Mortal Kombat. Which is a shut up. I like this film. I love Mortal Kombat.
Quite a bit. That kind of explains a little bit of the look of the movie.
It's a little interesting, isn't it? You get A-list, and then it's like, what are we gonna do for director?
I wonder, did Mortal Kombat do good at the box office? Was it a hit?
I think so.
It made money.
Yeah, because
so you can kind of...
Is it Ed Boon, the creator of Mortal Kombat? Ed Boon, he had a lot of say with it. He had a lot of promotion with it. So I think the first one did... I think it made money, I'm pretty sure.
So if it made money, you can kind of see how a studio would...
Well, yeah, for sure.
Would look to him at the time and place and be like, sure.
It's just, this is an interesting film that stands out in his resume. When you look at Mortal Kombat, Death Race, Resident Evil 1 through 12, Alone in the Dark. He did a couple other video game movies. Yeah. That's like what he's known for. And in the middle of it, he's got Soldier with Kurt Russell, written by David Webb Peoples.
It's weird.
It's just
pretty
interesting.
He gets a lot of hate, the director, because he did... I like the Resident Evil movies for what they are, but they're not what the Resident Evil movies should be.
Right.
and it's tough to divorce yourself from the movie's actually not that bad versus what it's the name Resident Evil being on it and what it could be.
Yeah.
So he gets a lot of hate for that.
I like them just like you do, but you have to, before you watch them, you have to go, okay,
this is not.
Let's separate it from the game.
Yeah.
Let's separate it from, it's not an Oscar film. You're just going and having fun with it. You have to kind of be like, okay, I'm just gonna have fun.
Yes, totally.
Forget the games and just go with it.
I hope they do something with Resident Evil. Isn't he done with the franchise?
Yeah, the final chapters.
The final chapter.
Final chapter.
We're not doing a Friday the 13th and calling it the final chapter.
Right,
8 more afterwards.
No, that's it. He's actually doing, him and his wife,
Mila
Jovovich, are doing another video game. They're doing.
Sorry, I love that movie.
Monster Hunter. They're doing a film adaptation of Monster Hunter.
I don't know that's any franchise I've gotten into.
That's fine.
Yeah.
But that's what they're working on right now.
I don't know. I hope Resident Evil, that is a game that deserves kind of the proper treatment.
Resident Evil and Max Payne.
Yeah, they deserve a little better than what they got.
Yeah.
Someone out there is going to make a good Resident Evil.
There's going to be somebody's passion project in the next 10 to 15 years. Because it'll be guys like us.
Just take Resident Evil 2, the video game, and just the overall plot of that one, and I think you've got your groundwork, your foundation for a good Resident Evil film.
And that's kind of funny. Resident Evil 2 and Silent Hill 3. I think if you're going to make a Silent Hill film, you have to do the third one. It's just interesting how it's always like, the first one's good, but then the second one usually builds on it, and then the third and fourth, fifth, whatever, just kind of...
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Resident Evil 4, though, with Leon, I like that one.
Yeah,
I think Leon's a cool fucking character.
That would be cool, too.
That would be a good Leon. 1990s Brad Pitt.
Well, yeah.
If we could turn back time... do you remember your first
Frank Grillo?
See,
that's who's gonna play Leon.
Yeah.
Frank Grillo.
I
had a conversation with someone on Twitter where they were like, "Do you ever just get pissed off that Frank Grillo was Crossbones for like 30 seconds?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Yes, 1,000%."
Yeah.
I want a full Crossbones film.
You like Frank Grillo? You do? Come buy our ticket. Oh, he's gone. Fuckers. Nobody's gonna go see Avengers: Age of Ultron for Frank Grillo.
I would.
Was it that one or was it Civil War?
I think it was the beginning of Civil War.
Civil War, I think was.
It was the beginning. Yeah, it was the beginning of Civil War.
Right. Yeah, nobody went to Civil War like, oh, where's Frank Grillo?
You and me.
Do you remember your first experience seeing this?
This was one that, again, video store. You guys are maybe tired of hearing that, but it's how I've seen a lot of movies.
Video store?
Video store, yeah. This was in the oldies section, the cheapo dollar rentals in the middle of the shop. And, oh, man, Kurt Russell. I'll watch it.
Yeah.
I liked it. I like Kurt Russell. I thought it was fine. It wasn't anything that was, oh my God, this is as good as Escape from New York.
Right.
Because it's not.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not. You gotta be honest. But I liked it.
Yeah.
Enjoyable.
Do you know about what year that was? Was that like...
I don't remember. When did I start? 2005?
So somewhere around there,
probably. I
probably.
worked there for 5 years, so...
In between 05 and 10-ish.
Yeah, somewhere in there.
Cool. Yep. This is... my dad... I was barely 6. This is one that my dad wanted to take me to the theater to see.
Yeah.
My mom threw a fit, so that did not happen. So I remember that was a big ordeal. I wanted to go see Soldier. Mom, I want to go see Soldier. Let me go with Dad. I want to go see Soldier. No. So I didn't get to see it in the theater because of that. But I remember this was one of the first ones that we rented right when it came out. Yeah. We went to Blockbuster and we were looking through the movies, and I was just gonna get Hercules or like some kiddie movie.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, okay, let's go. And my dad comes over and he's the Blockbuster cases, and he goes, here you go. And it was Soldier. Woo! So
Yeah.
that was kind of, like, I remember that experience pretty well. And then I gotta go home or go to his house for the weekend, watch Soldier on VHS. So
see, this ties into what I was saying. This is a good dad action movie.
yeah,
Like, you know how there's always those action movies that your dad really likes.
Mhm.
And
a lot of them.
And
Black Mask.
this is one because it feels like it should have been an 80s movie. It is right in line with all your other dad action movies.
Yeah.
Rambo and Predator and all of that stuff. I'm telling you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
That's the vibes I get from it.
Yeah. So getting into the actual movie, so soldiers are cherry picked from birth. It's like Spartans. They only take the best ones.
Yeah.
They start raising them through as children, raising them to be soldiers.
Trained to be soldiers.
And you have to go through all these different tests. They show them progressing through the ages.
Fucking kill the kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You fall behind. They pull up in the truck and shoot them.
Yeah. Which was interesting that when they flash forward to like present day, when it's Kurt Russell and everyone, they kind of try to play Gary Busey off like he's the good guy.
Right.
Like,
Right.
Well, you're not really that good because remember when you were killing the kids who weren't up to par 3 minutes ago in the movie.
I like how he's all. When they arrive on that planet, there's like, they could be civilians, they deserve to be protected. But meanwhile, in the early stages, you see Russell shooting through a woman to kill a terrorist.
Yeah.
It's like, what about her?
They almost imply in one of the flashbacks he's going to fucking shoot that kid.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
I bet he did. For sure.
Right?
I forgot about that. Yeah, the little girl that looks up.
Uh-huh. I'm just saying, they kind of try to play it off a little later, like, we're the good guys. You're not really that good. None of you all are.
Right.
Yeah.
God damn it.
You've all done terrible shit in this film.
I like Busey, too, though.
Yeah.
God damn it. And then a soldier does not speak unless spoken to by a superior officer. Mm-hmm. Soldier shows no mercy. Mercy is weakness, and weakness is death. I wrote down year 12 is when they kill the straggler running behind. So 12 years old, running pace, falls behind, boom, you're dead.
Yeah.
Year 16 is we see him target practice, shooting, stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And I was like, holy shit, like, for a brief cameo, like, they found a guy that looks exactly like Kurt Russell.
Right? I thought that. I noticed that, too. That was good casting.
It's his kid.
Was it real?
It is Wyatt Russell. It's his kid with Goldie.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was like, I wrote it down. I was like, year 16, as brief as it is, they found a great actor for a young Kurt Russell. And then I went back, I was like, it's Wyatt Russell. Wyatt Russell. So you just looked.
Yeah, I just looked him up really quick. It looks like he had some minor roles in Walking Dead. Overlord. The new one that's out in theaters right now, which I'm kind of hearing isn't making as much at the box office as it should, despite the fact that it's really good.
Yeah.
So I encourage everyone to go support horror movies. You want to see more good horror, you got to support it when it's in theaters.
Right.
What else did we say? Cowboys and Aliens.
Yeah. Now that
Black Mirror,
we saw that,
it looks like he's had some kind of bit parts in films that you probably wouldn't recognize him in if you didn't know.
Well, in Cowboys and Aliens, I know exactly what you're talking about. I watched that not too long ago, and now that you say it, I was like, it looks exactly like it. It's like a little mini Kurt Russell.
We should add Cowboys and Aliens.
Yeah, I like that one too. Cowboys and Aliens is great. No, that's looks exactly like him.
Well, it's his kid. I should hope
so. Well, I mean,
it looks like Dolph Lundgren.
God damn it!
Something going on behind the scenes.
So, do you have a favorite scene? Because this kind of leads into something I want to talk about.
Oh, definitely. It was that whole the beginning of the film where they have him run and then the other guy catches up from behind him. Was that your scene?
I was going to talk about it, but go ahead.
Okay, that's really good. And then they're having the competition between the two of them, and then they climb up the chains, And then they fight. I loved them fighting on the chains.
Yeah.
Where Kurt Russell grabs a hold of the guy from behind and
rips his eye
out and shit.
I love that.
That's
scene.
a good sequence.
I love how
the movie needed more of that.
Yeah, that would be. The ending too is very much like that.
Yeah. That was kind of what I meant at the beginning when I said it kind of felt like they chopped the balls off this movie because it came out in '98.
Yeah.
It didn't do quite as over the top as what you would in the '80s. Like it felt like there should have been more of that beginning scene.
There wasn't a lot of blood, really.
No.
For as much killing and maiming as there is, there's not that much blood.
And there's really not. There should have been more.
Yeah. More shit getting blown up and more gore and more.
Just more.
Yeah. There was.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I didn't even think about that. But in that beginning scene, well, not that much of a beginning, but when they're pitting them against each other, they're running 15 miles.
Yeah.
And the guy leaves 20 minutes after him.
Uh-huh.
And
you did more math, didn't you?
No, I didn't.
Oh, damn it.
But I mean, 15 miles. I do 3 miles at a little over 20 minutes.
Uh-huh.
So for 15 times, so you're looking at hour and a half at that pace of like a 7 mile per hour pace.
Jeez.
So that's pretty crazy. But for him to leave 20 minutes after, you're looking at like a it's like a 10 mile per hour pace, which is almost a
sprint.
Yeah, essentially.
I didn't quite understand. Is there implied some kind of like super soldier serum for the second grouping of soldiers that allows them to be stronger, faster?
They talk about, it's very brief. They talk about instead of them taking all the babies and picking which ones they want, they're genetically engineered. So they pick out chromosomes, they pick out traits, and then they make matrix babies.
Gotcha.
So they bioengineer their own babies. So he was talking about how they're how your soldiers are trained from birth. We make selected. Ours, yeah.
Our mate or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Fucking Jason Isaacs, fucking dick. But yeah, and then that scene on the chain.
That was good.
That's super good. I like how they send up 2 more of the old soldiers up there, and it's an interesting how. I was thinking about how you would. I don't know why. I was thinking about how you would film that. I was thinking if I was trying to do this, I mean, I imagine they're probably 3 feet up, and they had a big cushion underneath, and there was some green screening on it. But it looked good. Yeah. It looked like they were falling. It looked like they were swinging. It looked like it looked really good for 1998. This was a year after Spawn.
Right.
Not that Spawn's a great example, but
just context. This is 2 years
it looked
after
pretty good.
Independence Day.
Yeah.
Independence Day is 96. This is 98.
Yeah.
Godzilla was 98.
Right.
So that's what else was going on around.
Yeah, exactly. So it looked, and I loved.
Black. When was Men in Black?
98.
97 or 98? I think it was 98.
I think 98.
Yeah.
Men in Black. I bet that's
that one's probably really high.
Yeah, I bet.
I still want to do it.
I'll look.
You'd have to jump to the third one.
Oh, I don't know about that.
To probably find that.
Yeah.
Wasn't Jeff Bridges in the third one, or am I just making shit up?
R.I.P.D.
Oh, okay. With Deadpool.
Ryan Reynolds, yeah. With Deadpool.
I never watched it, did you?
Nah, I saw some of it. Because Kevin Bacon is the bad guy.
Huh.
Yeah.
You know how they're re-releasing Deadpool 2 in theaters with...
What?
You didn't know they're releasing a PG-13 cut of Deadpool 2? Well, they reshot new footage with what the fuck was the kid from the Wonder Years?
Savage?
Yeah, where they're having Deadpool retell the story, the beginning.
God, Princess Bride.
Princess Bride.
Savage. What's his name?
Was it Tom Savage or is that the quarterback?
That's the
fucking quarterback from Fred Savage.
Fred Savage.
Yeah.
Thank God we got that figured out.
We lost a little bit of credit for that one. Where I was going is they should
Tom Savage would be just as funny.
Yeah, they should reshoot that R.I.P.D. movie with Deadpool. Just put Deadpool in the movie.
That'd be alright.
Yeah, then I would probably watch it.
No, I think I saw most of it because I remember the opening was like Kevin Bacon kills him. And then he falls through and goes, run, goes like Beetlejuice zone. And then Jeff Bridges comes in. He's like a constable from the Wild West. And
I have no interest in seeing that movie, and that says a lot if we're sitting here fucking talking about Soldier.
Soldier's awesome. So this is an action film. We talked about how bad fucking Kurt Russell looks jacked as hell in this film.
Yeah.
Looks great.
He's in good shape.
It's a hardcore action film. There's a lot of good dramatic acting, I think, on Kurt Russell's side.
You think?
Trying to, yeah, I definitely think so. I the way I described it, I think I described it as wanting to show emotion but can't. I think it's a good display of him wanting to emote and wanting to show emotion, but instead of just being stone cold, not doing anything, it's like there's something inside that wants to. Because Todd wants to feel, he just doesn't know how.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I think he does that pretty well. And a movie called Soldier,
I know.
It's pretty awesome.
I kind of wish he had a little more to do.
Instead of 5 lines.
Yeah, that was kind of my knock on the film, because you look at like how badass he was as Snake Plissken. Like, he can say a really good cheesy one-liner and kind of make it, and not kind of, but like he makes it cool. And I know that just based on the script of playing a soldier, he's trained from birth to just kill. He wouldn't be like that. So right. I get it. But,
I mean, and he does have that, especially one that really sticks out, that badass line.
What was
that's not even cheesy.
What was it?
So he's killed like 3 of them, the first 3 that came in, and he's got their bodies, and he's like getting all the guns ready, and Nathan's standing there like, and Connie Nielsen comes in, and she's like, "We have guns too, we can help," and he just goes, "No," and she goes, "Oh, 1 soldier against 20? What are you gonna do?" And he, "I'm gonna kill them all, sir."
Oh yeah.
Like, see, fuck yeah.
I wanted more of that.
Yeah.
And then maybe that was my critique a little bit. So it needed a little more of that flair to it.
I fucking love that line. We should make like a definitive list, but I say this every episode, but that's in my top like 20 for movie lines.
Yeah.
Like E.T. Phone Home. Like, I'm gonna kill them.
Russell and Soldier.
Yeah, I'm gonna kill them all, sir. Yeah, I fucking love that. There's another one that's not really a line, but he picks up the voice module thing and goes,
"Oh yeah," and then the other guy has to explain it to his superior, and he growled.
What are you talking about? He said the word growl? No, he just
growled.
He made a voice noise, and it sounded to me like a growl.
That was good.
I fucking love that. So,
see, it's better when it doesn't take itself too serious.
But it is kind of like, I don't know. It's weird how it is. It's like it
had a little bit of a missing identity. I kind of feel like, and that comes back to being a movie. Wrong time, wrong place.
It has the heart of like an 80s action film, but then it kind of,
it's missing a little.
I don't know what it is, but
yeah.
it does play it seriously, but at the same time, it's like we could be an 80s action film. Let off some steam, Bennett. It doesn't have that. It has, I'm gonna kill them all, and like it's a weird mixture of both.
Yeah,
like that.
I know what you mean.
This. It's like this.
That motion.
Another Batman thing.
Yeah.
During that last fight scene.
You can stop doing this anytime now.
During that last fight scene, he has a Batman entrance through the skylight.
Oh yeah.
When he falls through.
Yeah.
It's like I wrote down Batman entrance. I also wrote down that planet has a real snake problem.
Right.
I would lose my shit. I am not a snake person.
I didn't think they were as threatening as the film made them out to be.
Because they were stitched shut.
Yes.
I don't know. They used real snakes though, I guess.
Yeah.
Like and they stitched them their mouths shut because they were venomous and stuff. And fuck that shit, I'm out.
Yeah. So the planet they were on, I want to talk about the planet.
Yeah.
It's like a garbage planet where other, I don't know, space stations, other planets send all of their scrap.
Yeah, I guess.
Metal, because they made the comment that they dump.
Like once every
2 weeks or something, wasn't it?
Something like that.
That the ships come and dump their ship. So, is it supposed to be no one is supposed to be living on the planet, but there's like these stowaways or something?
No, it's...
The little colony of people. How did the colony of people end up on this trash planet?
They were moving. They were moving. They were supposed to go into the Trinity moons.
Okay.
And then something happened. Their spaceship went down. They crash landed there.
So they're stuck.
And then the survivors, they tried getting the attention of the dump spaceships. And they make the line that they try to start fires. They made explosions, and either those ships are unmanned or they don't care.
They just don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then they're just like, well, I guess we have to make do.
Yeah.
So they've just been living there.
Because I was kind of super interested in that world.
Mm-hmm.
Weren't you?
Yeah. Oh man,
I like dumb world building.
It had great paint backgrounds.
Yeah.
It reminded me of like Batman, 89.
It's interesting that it was the Mortal Kombat guy, because after you said that, the look of the film is strangely reminiscent of Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat has a lot of good painting backgrounds too.
Yeah.
I love those fucking backgrounds.
Yeah, I miss the old matte painting.
Yeah, I love those.
Yeah.
There's just something like
Ghostbusters.
Oh my god. You look at it and you go, that's a painting. But there's something special about it. Something that's like green screen doesn't do it justice.
Yeah.
If I could have a matte background painting of every clip I wanted to show,
that would be cool.
I would do that.
Yeah.
But there's something lost in this. Mm-hmm. As cool as this is, the technology that we have, I can do this, anybody can do this. There's a lost art in that kind of set design. Mm-hmm. And it's cool seeing it in 1998 with Soldier.
Right.
A film that you wouldn't think it would be in.
And it's fun that you mentioned you compared it to Spawn, how the effects in Spawn have aged super fucking horrible. Yeah. And what year was that one? 96?
97.
97. So we're a year later, and Soldier holds up really pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
The spaceships flying over look convincing. I at no point in the movie was I turned off. I'm like, oh, that's a really dated 90s special effects.
Right.
Like, no, I thought it was.
And a lot of that has to do, this is kind of trivia, but a lot of that has to do with...
effects? Probably they've done everything.
I mean, it had a decent budget, $60 million, but a lot of that had to do with where they wanted to film. They wanted to film in an actual location. they were supposed to... Jesus Christ. If anybody's from Detroit, I'm sorry. It's just Kyle. They wanted to film not on location on Trash Planet. On location, like in a desert. So I think they were going to be in... Don't quote me on this. I think they were going to be in Peru or something.
Yeah.
But before they started filming, there was a hurricane or something, some natural disaster, and they couldn't film there. So all of these had to be done on a set, on a sound stage.
Sure.
And it's kind of the opposite of what they wanted. So a lot of the shots, the outside exterior shots that they wanted, they couldn't do on location anymore. So it was all on a set. and I think that's why you got a lot of the matte painting backgrounds, and stuff like that. But they're supposed to be.
I weirdly really like the look of this film.
Yeah, it ended up looking good. I think that might have been kind of a blessing in its curse, but
I don't necessarily know how they spent. What do you say, $60 million?
Yeah.
On this film?
Well, a third of it went to Kurt Russell.
Holy shit, really?
Yeah. Kurt Russell, I think, got $20 million for this film.
Wow.
Yeah.
Maybe that explains why he kind of fell off. In the 90s there for a little bit.
I think that had a lot to do with it.
Yeah. That's kind of poopy. You got to make that dough.
Yeah.
If you can do it, you can do it. Before we forget, I wanted to really mention how much, like I said, I like the world building, I like the town, and what was interesting about the people that were living there is there wasn't like a good faction and a bad faction, and they were warring, and like they were happy.
They're happy to be alive.
You really don't see that in movies ever. Where you're like, hey, here's this group of people surviving on this trash fucking planet, and they're basically happy. Like Ben Grimm dresses up as Santa Claus, and they're all making gifts for one another, and
even Lord of the Flies. Even children divide into groups.
Yeah,
everybody always divides into groups. But you're right.
The survivors in this movie are like, hey, like
we're happy to be alive. Yeah. Let's make this work.
They have their own little colony. They're like teaching the kids education and agriculture, and they're all kind of pitching in. And I'm like, that stood out to me because that just don't.
Speaking of that agriculture, though, one of my favorite scenes is she's planning, and she's like, here, you try. Just like cavemans it together. I love that. That's interesting.
Though, I wanted to ask you if you noticed any of that, about how they were just basically fine.
I didn't even think about that.
Fine.
Yeah. Because everything.
Because I thought that made it all the more dickish that the other group of soldiers,
all the more dickish
that the other group of soldiers came down and were like, we're just gonna fucking kill them. Like, why?
Yeah, and what are the odds that they're like, pick that planet to like, we're gonna go test our soldiers. Oh shit!
So I was hoping that there was gonna be some kind of plot because Kurt Russell was alive. They thought he was dead. I thought that he was gonna have some kind of like tracker or tracer that would have been implanted inside of
for the reason that they went there.
Yeah, that it's like, hey, when they were kids in this training program, we put these tracers inside.
You would fucking think so.
Inside everyone. I see I'm smarter than the writer.
Well, I don't know about that.
In this instance. In the movie Soldier with Kurt Russell, I'm smarter than the writer of the film. But I thought that was going to be how they explained.
How they explained why they're there.
Yeah.
Yeah, instead it's just more of a training thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is one, I don't know if you've ever heard it from your grandpa or your dad, but old age and wickedness will always overcome youth and strength.
Yeah.
This is my dad always told me that, and this was kind of how he pushed that agenda on me. It was Kurt Russell taking out all the new soldiers.
That's amazing.
Old age and wickedness will overcome youth and strength any day. Aside from what we talked about, like the beginning scene, the ending scene, I have a lot of favorite scenes. Another favorite scene of mine is when the first wave of the new soldiers go in. Kurt Russell slits one's throat. There's a lot of great shots of him like hiding, and then the lighting, like at that cool orangey fog.
Yeah.
When you see Kurt Russell hiding, and they just attacks. But that first wave, Connie Nielsen is like running around the corner, and the guy's following her with the flamethrower. Kurt Russell's just standing there with the rocket launcher.
Yeah.
And just, I just think that's a great scene. I wrote RBG around the corner. There's just a lot, him slowly going into the water.
Yeah.
And then them spraying the flamethrower, and he comes up behind. Like,
that's cool. That's very Rambo.
Yeah, definitely. See what I mean? Like they each had their own style.
I love the way that the newer group is younger. Like you said, they're younger, they're faster, they're stronger. But Kurt Russell was smarter, and he got him at the end by looking down at the ground, and he sees that scythe laying there, and he baits the other guy into looking down. And while he looks down, he pulls the helicopter blade down and slices it across the belly. It's like he outthought him. He was 2 steps ahead of him, even though the other guy was physically better. It's like, no, he was able to bait him in. I thought that was pretty cool.
Gary Busey. Gary Busey even says that.
Yeah.
He's like, maybe you should have made him smarter instead of faster.
Yeah.
I love that line. Yeah, and then like you were talking, I think you were about to say like how he punches him in the
gut.
Yeah,
and that would fucking hurt.
I can't imagine. Oh, that's funny. Maybe you should have made them smart instead of fast.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Oh, here. These are some quotes I got. I wrote down some quotes. So I talked about. What did I talk about? I'm gonna kill them all, sir. There's a scene where she's talking to him when he's chopping carrots.
Oh, and he cuts himself.
He cuts himself and just keeps going because he's not supposed to worry about it. And she's kind of like, "What do you feel?" And I think that's kind of the first time that we hear him talk, and he says, "Fear, and discipline. Now, always." That's good shit. That's good. Fear and discipline always. Before I get into these quotes, one last thing I want to mention that I think is really great. Huh?
The musical sequence. Fuck that.
Thing that I wanted to mention was with Nathan, the little boy. He walks in and Nathan sees the snake and he kind of freezes.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, you see Kurt Russell. He's like caveman with the boot. And like slapping the boot around. And ultimately, like, that's kind of why they kick him out.
Yeah.
Like, you're supposed to defend our little kids. And then they realize that he was teaching the kid to defend himself, and the kid kills the snake in their bed.
Yeah.
And that's kind of why they go back to say, hey, we were wrong, come back. I think that's an interesting point that's kind of lost. I'm going to get a little political. And especially in, like, our generation. That's an interesting point. Like, we, maybe a little bit younger than us, we're always defended and taken care of. We were never taught to defend ourselves. And so that's why you're seeing a lot of whiny young.
Yeah.
Our generation now.
Your generation, I'm older than you.
Yeah, a little bit. So I just thought that was an interesting.
Yeah.
I kind of thought of today, like, wow, like teaching someone to defend themselves.
Teaching them skills.
And I just thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
A couple quotes here. Crawler 2, you're on a collision course with me. Affirmative 1. He just crashes into him. Your men are obsolete. And then Kurt Russell says it at the end. That's a great shot too. When he's coming up in that elevator thing or whatever it is, and the doors open.
Oh,
it's very Stargate-y.
When they're doing like the mutiny part.
Yeah.
The ship,
Yep.
Taking over the ship.
And they've got Jason Isaacs by the arms, and they're dragging him out. And then the door, and it's Kurt Russell.
Yeah.
Just standing there, all fucked up, and after he just killed 20 dudes, and he pees himself.
Were you shocked that they just shot Gary Busey?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, like, the whole way that went down, like, oh, that was pretty shocking, I thought.
Yeah, that kind of... Oh, sorry. Yeah, it's one of those things. I don't know. I was kind of bummed that Gary Busey died. I liked him in this movie. And if Todd would have gotten there, just like 5 minutes sooner.
I know.
Oh. I like that he's got...
I didn't like the way his name was Todd.
Really?
Yeah.
When I was a kid, I thought Todd was like the badass name
there's
after this.
There's a George Carlin bit where he makes fun of people's names, like soft names.
Right.
And Todd, it was one of the names that he makes fun of. And the whole movie, I just kept thinking of that George Carlin bit.
That's fucked up.
And you gotta admit, Snake Plissken, Todd.
Yeah, I know. I used to think Todd was like the coolest name after seeing
But I get it. They're born... what they were going for is like, I have a friend who's in the military who does like a dog training program, and the names that they give dogs, there's like a set name that they rotate through.
Oh, really?
All of them in the military. Yeah, yep. Because they're not pets. I mean, they're trained to go after like bomb sniffing stuff.
Yeah.
I know, but
that's cool though.
When they retire out, like he got to take his dog with him.
Aww.
Yeah, so that was cool. His dog.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
After they retire, they get to keep him.
Yeah.
Like the dog retires.
Yeah, like the dog. Yep. So
Huh.
he got to take his dog home with him that was in the service with him.
Fuck yeah.
So the idea that I think that they were going for is that they probably have like a generic stock set of names that they name everyone. That's why it's tattooed.
Fuck yeah.
Todd right here.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. And so when Kurt Russell dies, I imagine
there's going to be a new Todd.
There's a new Todd that comes up.
That's interesting.
Yeah, that's kind of what I thought.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That makes it cooler.
Learn a little more.
Yeah. The last thing that I wrote is there's not a lot of cheesy lines. I already mentioned that earlier. Let off some steam, Bennett. That's cool. It's cool
I
stuff.
could have used some more cheesy ones. I'm telling you, this movie needed like fucking Jesse Ventura.
No.
Yes. No. Every movie needs Jesse Ventura.
Do you have any final thoughts or anything you want to say before we get into trivia?
I liked it. Again, I feel like I say that every movie that we do.
We do. We set up. We like this.
Yeah, I feel the need to defend this movie because I don't know. It's a throwback to 80s action movies starring Kurt Russell, and I don't think it quite hit home on all the notes that it should have. And I think later on, with like Stallone doing like the newer Rambo reboots and stuff, like they really kind of hit home for what made those 80s action movies fun. This one is a little maybe off the mark, but it's enjoyable. I really did like the look of the movie. It's this weird kind of mix of like CGI and sets, and I don't know. It's just cool. This movie's great. Just cool to me.
It's got a good aesthetic to it.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah,
I love it. I would just. This is one that I grew up as a kid with. Yeah, it's just good, actiony fun with
family entertainment.
with Kurt Russell kind of acting his ass off. I think. We kind of talked about it earlier. I think he did a great job.
He was asked to be stone-faced,
but wanting to show emotion.
Yeah, he cries during the one scene.
Yeah, he does.
And then
he has a little tear.
Like, touch his tears. Like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, I like that. He's like, the fuck. But I like at the end how he picks up Nathan.
I could have done with the whole subplot.
Shows emotion. Whatever.
Here nor there.
Get us some trivia. All right, are you ready for this trivia?
I am ready for this trivia.
It's gonna blow
my hat off my head.
Okay, we'll start off light.
Okay.
Todd's.
Ease me into it.
Yes, I will ease you into it. Todd's service record on the computer are all references to the writer and Kurt Russell's work. There's references to Stargate, Blade Runner, talking about like different wars on different planets, stuff like that.
Oh, that's cool.
So there's a lot of references. Okay, I'll save that one. Todd, Kurt Russell is on screen for 85% of the film, and he only has 104 words.
Wow.
Let's figure that out. So how many million did he get per word?
Maybe a little too much, Kurt. I'm just saying.
Russell worked out 3 to 4 hours a day during an 18-month period before filming started because he wanted to get in shape. And so while they were waiting, Paul W.S. Anderson went on and did Event Horizon during that time. So he went and shot that while Kurt Russell was getting into shape. Okay, you gotta wait for that. Clint Eastwood loved the script and was originally attached to direct.
Oh, that would have took it to a different level.
You know what else would have taken it to a different level?
What?
According to IMDb trivia, Keanu Reeves was originally casted as Todd. And Kurt Russell said, had the original film done well, a sequel was planned. And I will come back to that in a moment.
Okay.
David Webb Peoples, the writer, has said that this is a sidequel to Blade Runner. It is in the same universe. And Soldier was an idea for an unused opening where replicants were dumped and left for dead.
You know, I have heard that before.
Oh, man.
That's like an actual... That's an actual thing.
Yes, that's a thing.
Yeah, that's not something someone just made up on IMDb.
Yeah, David Webb Peoples has talked about it.
That is super interesting.
The new soldiers are replicants, and in a 2017 short, 2036 Nexus Dawn is set between Blade Runner 1 and 2 and implies they were made in 2035, the same year Soldier takes place.
That's cool.
He goes on to say if Kurt Russell had gone to Earth in Soldier, he would have encountered Ford's Deckard.
So are they kind of implying that Kurt Russell was a replicant?
The new soldiers are
the new soldiers would have been replicants. Okay.
And you can see the spinners from Blade Runner in this film.
Really? Where?
They're kind of in the beginning.
Okay.
You kind of go through like the different wars and when they're kids and stuff. And once you get into the wars, you start getting up to like 2020, 2025, sure. Stuff like that. You can see spinners. And later on, in the garbage on the planet, you can see like old spinner parts.
That shit's cool.
So, Kurt Russell has said that a sequel was planned.
Uh-huh.
Now with Blade Runner 2, I'm saying, do it now, Kurt!
Yeah.
Do Soldier 2 and tie it in with Blade Runner 2, Blade Runner 1. And I want to watch that 2017 short called 2036 Nexus Dawn. It's set between the two Blade Runners and implies that the new soldiers were made in 2035, the same year as Soldier. So as soon as I read this, I kind of had a mini freak out. I was so excited to talk about it. It took us till today. So it's been about a week since I watched this. So I've been waiting to tell you this. David Webb Peoples, writer of this, it is a sidequel to Blade Runner. It's in the same universe.
That's neat. That's super neat.
That tickles my funny bone in all the right places.
Isn't like Alien part of the Blade Runner universe or something too?
Yeah. Alien, Prometheus, Blade Runner, everything's tied together.
Yeah. That's cool.
And now Soldier. I want to watch that.
There's a missed opportunity here.
Come back. Kurt Russell was just in Expendables, so
I don't know.
No, he wasn't. He was in Fast and Furious.
Is it the Fast and the Furious?
Yeah, Harrison Ford was in the new Expendables. They're both primed and ready. That'd be a cool film. Harrison Ford and Kurt Russell working together.
Have they ever been in a movie together?
Executive Decision.
Okay.
Is Harrison Ford in that?
I don't remember. I'm bad on the spot trivia.
I could be. I think I'm wrong. Doesn't sound right.
Hey, Jamie.
Yeah, right. So yeah, there's some trivia to boggle your minds a little bit, make you wish for better things. So I mean, that's Soldier, 1998. Do we have any ideas what we want to do next week?
We're kind of maybe we'll have to talk about that after the show. We kind of wrote some stuff down. I know we got more in the old book.
Yeah, we've got stuff everywhere.
Yeah, Google Documents.
Yeah, we have a big Google Doc.
But we should log into the Google Documents and we'll figure that out after the show.
All right.
I wanted to ask you really quick at the end of the podcast. Do you ever watch a movie like when it first comes out in theaters or on DVD or something? And you're like,
lots of times.
And you're like, I didn't quite like it. And then you come back to it years later. You're like,
and you like it?
That's really good. I had one of those moments the other day. I watched No Country for Old Men for the second time on Netflix.
Love that movie.
And I loved it the second time through. The first time I watched it, I don't know. Maybe I wasn't in the mood for it. Maybe it didn't quite click for me then. I remember thinking, this is well made, but I don't know. But then I watched it again, finally, I think just a couple days ago.
What's the most you've ever lost
on
a coin toss?
Yeah.
I'm not sure I understand your question. The most you ever lost on a coin toss.
Yeah. The movie's good.
Fucking love that.
Yeah. I'm curious, do you have any movie?
I know what you're talking about. There's one that I was trying to think of. I know exactly what you mean.
Mm-hmm.
Where I was just like, what the fuck is this about? And then I watch, it's kind of a dumb example, but Pitch Perfect.
Oh, okay.
First time I watched Pitch Perfect, I was like, this is fucking stupid. And then I watched it a couple years later, and I was like, kind of like this.
Yeah. Sometimes you got to be in the right mood.
Yeah.
To watch movies as well.
Yeah.
I
know there's a better example of something that I've seen. I can't think of it right now.
I know I picked one that's like a fucking Oscar-winning film here with No Country for Old Men for my example, but
yeah.
I didn't realize the first time I watched it that whole movie is like set in the 80s.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. The first time I was oblivious. The first time I watched it, I don't know.
Huh.
I don't know. I have no clue. I was an idiot the first time I watched it.
Why do you think Woody Harrelson and him are sitting by a rotary phone?
I don't know.
They don't have a cell phone.
I don't now. But...
That's funny.
Yeah.
I don't know. You got anything you want to mention? Anything you want to say for close out? I've got a couple things I want to plug.
I think we can go into plugs and Indie Gamer magazine stuff.
So, PantheonNetwork.com. It's still work. It's getting closer. I've got a guy kind of doing a couple making it look a little bit better.
Yeah.
All the content's good. He's just kind of making it look good. Everything's up there. Indie Gamer Magazine now has subscriptions, so you can look at that on the website.
I've seen that. That's cool.
Subscriptions are live.
Didn't we say you can view all of the back catalog, back issues?
Yeah, everything's up there.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, it's $5.99 for a digital copy. Ain't no big whoop. 4th issue's out. 5th issue, December's issue's looking good. I'm actually almost done with it. Got all the content. I'm getting better, getting quicker. And then something I want to mention. Talk about how we're busy already all the time. My dumbass started a book. So I have a novel. I'm about 3,000 words in. So starting a novel. PantheonNetwork.com, podcast, video episodes. The shop, working on some new shirts, t-shirts, stuff like that.
We keep saying set.
Yeah.
And you're going to do something with the green screen?
Yeah. I'm going to do first I'm going to do a video, because a lot of people keep asking about the green screen, how I did it.
Because it is super cool.
Less than $20. So I'm going to try to do a how-to video on that. And then hope I figure something else out for season 2. I think I have a cool idea of what I want to do.
Yeah.
Something that would look better. Kind of a higher table with some stools, kind of like a talk show.
Yeah, I think we need to be here.
Yeah, more, like able to have a conversation.
Yeah.
I don't know. They can see us like this, and we can. I don't know. We'll figure something out.
Yeah.
It's a book. PantheonNetwork.com. Green screen. Shit. Should have wrote it down. There's something else that I was going to mention, but you got anything? Facebook, Twitter.
Facebook, Twitter.
Shut Up, I Like This.
Find us, come talk movies. Lots of DC stuff. I love talking about DC movies. I'm excited for Aquaman to come out. What's coming soon that I really want to see? Aquaman.
Overlord.
Creed 2. Overlord looks really super good. I encourage everyone to go see that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I finished Castle Rock on Netflix.
How's that?
It starts out good. It kind of peters a little bit in the middle. It's like they could have cut a couple episodes out and condensed it, made it a little shorter. It probably would have been a little tighter of a series. And it picks up pretty good at the end. I recommend it overall, especially if you're a Stephen King fan. It's cool to see it take place in his universe.
Yeah.
That was neat. There's neat little Easter eggs and references to all of the books and TV show or movies and stuff. I enjoyed that quite a bit.
Oh, I guess the other thing I was going to say is, I already said it, t-shirts and stuff, but working on some different ones for the Indie Gamer magazine, and I'm working on new ones for here. And, God, I'm having a rough time. We'll just end it with that. Next week we'll talk about, maybe we'll throw it up on the Twitter and Facebook and stuff about what we're gonna do.
Kind of feeling more action movies, aren't you?
I'm for anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening. Shut Up, I Like This from the Pantheon Network Studios. We will see you next week, and thank you.